Hello everyone. So today's vlog is definitely been very highly requested. Ignore if you can hear chewing, Ryan's eating his breakfast behind me. I've just quickly mucked out a couple of the horses and I've just fed them so I can kind of have a chat with you guys about Rai. I'm hoping you can hear me over him eating, but I definitely think it's about time that we kind of had a chat about him and kind of what happened with him last year.
No, she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, cause you got me holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, cause you got me holding.
I know a lot of you are really kind of intrigued as to what happened there as such. So I'm going to try and explain it as best as I possibly can. To be honest, we still don't actually 100% know what of the problems was the reason why he was lame. I kind of have an inkling what it was, but I don't really know whether there's going to be like a continuation or what. Like, you'll understand what I mean once I get talking. So, I mean, I'm kind of going to be explaining kind of how it went and what happened, and in the best way possible, basically. I don't really have many kind of dates and stuff. It kind of is so difficult because if you've had a horse that's had an injury or seen a vet a lot of times, all these vet visits kind of like merge into one, and I kind of forget which vet visit was what and kind of what we did that day and like the dates and stuff. Like, that's so hard to remember, so kind of bear that with me, bear that in mind, and yeah, I'm gonna do my best. So let's get started. So it all kind of started off in around May last year, 2021. I was about to say 2020 then. It all kind of started around May. He was due to go to Kiso Stairway Show. Was it May? Yeah, it was. I think it was the start of May. I don't really know, to be honest. I know it was in May. He was due to go to Kiso, and oh no, this was international actually. No, it wasn't. Oh, I don't know. It was in May, and he was due to go to Kiso. I can't remember which Kiso show it was. Hi, Luna Petuna. Who is she? Hey, Luna. Anyway, carry on. He was due to go to Kiso, and I had Ruby over to ride him. She was going to jump him in a class, getting ready for international. And he was a little bit lame when she rode him. And bearing in mind, he's been fine. Like, he was fine up to this point when I was riding him and stuff. And she came over and rode him, and he was lame. We thought we maybe had just tweaked something in the field, as he can be a bit of an idiot in the field at times. So we were just a bit like, crap. So I left it a couple of days, and he got better, but he wasn't sound. So we had my vet out. Well, actually, we had her, like, other vet out that she trusts. And he came out, had a look at him, done some scans and stuff, couldn't find anything. So Jess, our vet, kind of knew that originally he didn't have great feet, as when we bought him, she kind of checked all his x-rays over and everything was fine, apart from the fact he had really flat feet and quite negative palmar angles. But there was kind of showing no signs of discomfort or anything. So we kind of decided to go through with it, and we would just kind of help the angles and kind of improve and all of that. Which, you know, like, you're not just gonna not buy a horse because it has not, like, his feet weren't that bad, and he was still a baby, so we were like, he's only just had shoes put on, like, we can sort this out. Anyway, so she just kind of knew that his feet weren't the best, so she was a bit like, okay, maybe it's to do with his feet, like the angles and stuff, maybe like everything inside just kind of isn't helping, and he's just a bit sore. So we kind of decided that we were going to change his feet and try some new shoes on him to kind of support everything a bit better, where he was kind of stepping up, as up until that point we kind of been jumping in quite small. So she kind of thought maybe where we're stepping him up a little bit, it's kind of just showing a bit more, if that makes sense. So we actually decided to medicate his coffin joints, which I know is probably going to be a bit of a topic for some people, but in the kind of equestrian industry and show jumping, etc., it is so beyond common, it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm not really sure what goes into medicating a horse, so you'd have to kind of Google that or ask your vet. I think it's just like it covers the cartilage and it kind of just supports the ligaments. I don't really know. I'm not there. Please don't ask me. It basically just meant to help them stay comfortable and just support everything inside and all the structures and stuff. I think it just coats everything. I don't know. Please leave me out of this. So we decided to medicate his coffin joints, and when they medicated them, they were really inflamed. Like quite a lot of information kind of come out when they were injecting. So we kind of thought, okay, maybe he's uncomfortable in the coffin joints, so this will really help with that. Obviously it's not just about masking the pain, like you need to know what's going on. So we kind of were like, right, okay, he's got nothing showing up in the scans or anything, so it just must be to do with kind of the feet, all the information's coming out from his feet. He did have quite a few issues with his white lines and stuff, so we treated him for white line disease. Wasn't that, so we kind of thought maybe he had a bit of laminitis, so maybe the information could be coming out from the laminitis, as at this point the grass was quite was coming through quite strong here as we reseeded everything, so we thought it possibly could be that. So we medicated him and he was a lot better. He come back sound and was fine, so we were like, okay, cool, we'll carry on working him. Kind of stayed sound. We did both kisos of him, and he jumped really, really well, was going really nicely. And then I think that brought us into June, maybe, towards the end of June. So he was fine for about 2 months. And then I planned to take him to Bolesworth with Brian for the international, which was the beginning of July. So I booked him in to go to Pycombe to jump the 110 and the 120, his first ever 120 with me, just to kind of get my confidence up. He was fine up until this point, literally all fine, sound, happy, jumping really well. So we took him to Pycombe, took him off the lorry, I walked over to the warm-up, put him into trot, and he was lame. Pretty badly lame as well, like could barely put any weight on one of his front legs. Well, I say that, but my vet says he was lame on both front, I think, but he was more so lame on one, which is why I kind of thought it was one. Anyway, he was fine. Like when I loaded him up, like he didn't look lame. He wasn't on 3 legs, otherwise I wouldn't have taken him, because that was just an absolute waste of time. Like we travelled 1 hour and 15 minutes to literally come straight home again. I was obviously devastated. So we brought him on the way home. I rang my vet, and she was luckily at our friend's, Scarlett's, who teaches me, that is literally 25 minutes away from here. So we diverted to Scarlett's on the way home, went to see Jess. We obviously did some lameness investigations, stuff like that, and she was just a bit like, look, I can't find anything. Like she scanned him, x-rayed him, trotted him up everything. He was definitely lame. I think he was lame more so on the left rein when the left leg was on the inside. I get a bit confused sometimes. I'm pretty sure it was the inside left. It was the left front leg. Couldn't find anything in the scans. Again, couldn't find anything. So she was like, look, we're gonna have to do an MRI, which was absolutely amazing, because if anyone's had an MRI before, they are ridiculously expensive. So she was like, look, if you want to find out what's wrong, we're gonna have to do an MRI scan, because nothing's showing up in the ultrasound scans or the x-rays, so clearly there's nothing going on that way. It's clearly soft tissue, something like that. So, or in his feet, obviously, which is what we thought. And obviously you can't ultrasound their feet, you have to have an MRI scan. So we had an MRI scan done in, I think we waited until the week after we went to Bolesworth, which was, I think, the 2nd week of July. He had his MRI scan, and it came back. I need to kind of have a look at my sheet of paper, so 2 seconds. I'm just gonna read from our MRI report, which I have here. just so I don't kind of get anything wrong. So basically, in total, he had mild changes in both 4 feet. It says all identified changes are commonly noted in athletic horses and are not expected to cause any chronic lameness. But my vet was like, he's 6, so no, it's not normal. In an older horse, maybe like a 12-year-old that's done a lot, fair enough. But considering he's barely done anything, it's not normal, so that was wrong. There are navicular remodelling changes in both 4 feet. There are no STIR, I don't know what that means, STIR, signal present in either for navicular spongiosa, which suggests that the disease is not active. The navicular bone changes are not considered likely to contribute to lameness in either forelimb. Ryan's scared of the paper. Oh, chicken, we're talking about you. Continuing on. Sorry, my granddad came and I don't like talking in front of people. Hello. It says, basically, it's really hard to, what are you doing? Explain this as, like, they're all in kind of like veterinary terms. But basically, he had mild remodelling changes to his navicular in both front feet, which straight away made me think, for frick's sake, you know, like, navicular is not the word that you want to kind of hear. But my vet kind of reassured me that it wasn't active. And there were very mild changes. So, like, she wasn't worried about it currently. He also had a mild arthritis in both front coffin joints in his front feet, which kind of made sense as to why his coffin joints were so inflamed when we medicated them, the medication would have helped, as that's what happens if they have like a little bit of arthritis. That's what you do, you medicate the joint to kind of cover the joint to stop the arthritis from getting worse. I'm pretty sure is what they do. But anyway, that was kind of the results from that MRI scan. So we were a bit stumped. Like, in a way, you guys hearing that, you probably thought, navicular, like, oh my God, he's got navicular. Which I thought the same thing. I literally thought it was the end of the world. I was like, he's never going to come back. Like, he's just going to get worse. Like, I had an absolute meltdown about it, to be quite honest. But after speaking to my vet, she was like, look, we can do this. Like, he'll be fine. She was a bit confused as to why he was so lame when that was all that was wrong with him. I say that was all that was wrong with him because they were both mild, things that shouldn't be causing the amount of lameness he had. But my vet was a bit like, look, we'll treat him for what has showed up in the MRI scan. Maybe he's just a bit of a wuss, so we'll just treat him anyway. Here he is. So we treated him, we medicated his navicular bursa, and yeah, so we medicated his navicular bursa, and I think we also did his fetlocks at that point. That was July. We did that. So he then come back into work. We brought him back into work, and he was fine again, sound again. We were keeping an eye on him. My vet was I was sending my vet updates. She was happy with him. So we were like, great, you know, fantastic. He's fine. So we've got it sorted. So we took him to Chepstow end of August. And then he went to Hickstead beginning of September. All was fine. He was jumping really well, as you'd have seen in the vlogs. And then after Hickstead, he went lame again. At this point, we were just like, what is going on? Like, there is something else going on here. Like, this is not normal. We were all just really kind of baffled. Even my vet was really baffled about what was going on, as he was quite badly lame at this point. He was quite uncomfortable. So we were like, look, we need to do some more investigating somehow. Let's give him some time off. So the initial process was to give him time off, and my vet said, look, I'll have another look at the MRI report. Let's just give him, I think she said 3 months. No, she didn't. What was it, September? She basically said, we'll just give him some time off, see how he gets on, see if he gets any better or any worse. As at this point, we spent so much money with the vets. It was like, what is the point in, we're not going to medicate him again, because clearly it's something else going on. So we gave him some time off, and then I think it was end of October, which was the month afterwards, my vet was like, why don't we send the full MRI report to a vet that we know, which is called Donington's, and we'll kind of get them to have another look at it, second opinion, see if they can spot anything that the first vets didn't spot. So we done that, got the first vets to send over the full MRI report, which has got literally like hundreds of images on it. And they come back. I was trying to find that MRI report, but I can't find it. I don't know what I've done with it. Actually, my mum emailed it to me. 2 seconds. But basically, they come back with saying the same thing as what the first vet said, but also he had some bruising on his laminae, which could mean a couple of things, as the navicular kind of touches the laminae. It's all in the same area. So if there are there's a lot of pressure on the navicular, it can cause issues like bruising to the laminae because of the angles of his feet, something to do with that. So we were like, it's either bruising because of the angles on his feet, or it's bruising from the grass, if he's got laminitis. So at that point, it was actually coming out in the farrier. Like when the farrier was coming, he was finding bruising through the white line and his laminae that was coming out. So the bruising had obviously taken a while to kind of come out. So it could have been maybe why he was a bit footsore, if he had bruising in his feet. So that made a bit more sense. And also, the main thing which we think was causing the lameness was we found a little strain on his deep digital flexor tendon on the front left foot, which is the foot that he was showing lameness on. When I heard that, I was like, you having that absolute laugh. So basically, I had been riding him and jumping him when he had an injury to his deep digital flexor tendon, and that can be a very, very serious injury, and I completely understand that. Like, if they have quite a big tear on it, it can be career ending. Luckily for us, it was a tiny little strain, but still, like, it's the fact that I was still jumping him because we were so oblivious to the fact it was there, because the first vets that MRI'd him didn't spot it, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I was absolutely fuming about the fact that we trusted them to kind of help us find out what was wrong with him, and they missed like the main thing that was causing his lameness, probably. And I'd still taken him to shows. I'd taken him to quite like 2 shows after that, and I jumped him round. Like, no wonder why he went lame again. Like, the medicating would have helped the little issues that he had, but they would not have helped that issue. So I was quite upset about that, I'm not gonna lie. So I spoke to our vets and Donington's, and we kind of agreed to give him 3 months off. So he had from October until beginning of January off, and then I've been bringing him back into work. So he's now starting canter work now. Fingers crossed, he is okay so far. I'm kind of trying to stay as positive as possible, because I don't really know whether it was the deep digital flexor tendon strain that was causing the lameness. I think it probably was, personally. And my vet seems to not think it was that much of an issue. But I just think, after speaking to quite a few people, we kind of all agreed that that must have been the main cause of the lameness. We have no idea how long it was kind of there for, but thankfully we have given him obviously time off now, and he seems a lot more comfortable. Well, he is a lot more comfortable, like, he's sound. His legs aren't swelling up as much as they used to. His feet are cold. Like, his feet used to be warm a lot of the time, like literally most of the time. His feet are now cold all the time. He just seems a lot better. Like, we're definitely moving in a positive direction, which I'm very thankful for. We've done a lot of different changes to his feet, getting his feet in the right angles and to support the kind of issues that we're showing. So his feet are kind of in the best condition they have been. He's on a completely new diet that has, like, she has no sugar in it, He's on like a really good hoof supplement, a really good joint supplement, and he just seems to be doing really well at the moment. His feet are in, like I said, the best condition as they ever been. They're really strong. There's no bruising through the white line, there's no blurring through the white line, like there's no corns, nothing. Like everything is really doing really well on his feet at the moment. He's not currently on grass, as you would have seen, because we think that he does have laminitis from the grass, so we kind of gave him a month and a half off the grass to see if there was any changes, and there has definitely been changes. So unfortunately he doesn't go out on the grass, but we're very lucky to have the turnout paddock for him to go out and have a roll and a play around and kind of interact with the other horses. He gets hand grazed, but that's about it. He's not allowed on grass all day, as it's just going to cause issues for him long term, unfortunately. Maybe in like the summer when the grass is kind of the least sugary. It's the summer, isn't it? It's like the spring is when it's the worst. Like the summer when it's like, I don't know. Maybe at some point he'll be able to go back out there again, hopefully, because it's not really a life for him. I kind of feel really bad, but don't get me wrong, he's a happy boy, he loves life, he loves food, but it does make me sad, especially as when they go down the bottom fields, they're going to be away from him. So I'd like, ideally, for him to be able to go out with them and kind of just enjoy some grass. You know, he's a horse. How do horses have laminitis when they literally live off grass? Anyway, so one other thing is we've been having acupuncture done for him. I was recommended that by a friend, and when I kind of suggested it to my vet, she was like, yes, 100% do it, as it kind of just sucks out all the inflammation out of their kind of body, and just helps kind of reset everything as such. So he's been having acupuncture around once a month now for the last, probably since November? I think so. I think it was November, the first time he had his acupuncture treatment. So he's been having acupuncture now since November. He's been doing really well with it. He's actually doing it today, so I'm hoping to get some videos to add in here for you guys to see that. That's basically the update, really. The horses are waiting to go out, but fingers crossed, things can look up from here for Mr. Iri. He really deserves it, bless him. Like, he's been through a lot, and it's been a really long process for us. It costed us a lot of money. So I just really hope that we can kind of get him back to how he was before, as he absolutely loves jumping. Like, he lives for it, and he loves being ridden, he loves going out hacking. So I kind of want to be able to do this for him, as he's still only a baby, he's only 7. But yeah, I know it was a bit of a manic kind of explanation. I'm still like, I was trying to think as I kind of went along, rather than kind of writing stuff down. But yeah, he's due his acupuncture treatment today, so I'm hoping to get some videos for you guys to kind of put into here, for you guys to see kind of what happens there. We're basically just trying to manage him as best as possible and keep him as sound as possible, and then if anything happens from now on, I think I'll definitely try some other options with him, maybe give him the year off, but I don't really want to think that far ahead. I'm kind of just trying to stay positive as much as I can right now, with how he is.
You need something to eat. Have you got bad munchies? Hey. Let's see.
So as you would have seen, we just had Karen out, and I'm very pleased to say that she was very, very happy with him, and we've kind of been given the all clear now to start jumping once he comes back into full flat work, which, fingers crossed, is very soon. So that's both my vets now agreeing that he's doing really well and is the soundest he's been in a long time. So honestly, I don't think I could be happier. It's been a really, really long, kind of like 10 months in total, so it feels really amazing to kind of be told that everything we've kind of worked towards is coming, and he is doing really well. So yeah, I don't think I could actually be happier right now. Me and my mum have just been jumping around the kitchen celebrating, but yeah, just wanted to quickly add that in for you guys. Just give you an update, as it's the perfect day to kind of let you know that we are ready now to give him a jump. So yeah, really pleased, and I hope you guys understand why I've kind of left it so long to actually let you know what's going on, as it's been a really difficult thing to kind of explain, and there's been a lot of bumps in the road and a lot of confusion throughout. So it's kind of nice to actually be able to say we've kind of hopefully got through the other side of it, well, for now at least. So yeah, fingers crossed we have a good year and things can start looking up for him. I really hope that you guys felt like I kind of gave you a decent enough explanation of everything that's gone on with him. I know it was a little bit messy and I apologise for that, but it's kind of hard to kind of remember everything that kind of happened over the last like 11 months, 10 months-ish. It's been really tough, it has been. It's been really hard on my mental health, seeing him that way, but hopefully we can start looking up from here, and things can start being more positive for him like they are now, and it can continue that way. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this little Ryan update. Make sure to send him some love down below. Please don't put anything like hate, like it's really unnecessary. We didn't really know what was going on, and it's really difficult to kind of know what's going on with them when they can't actually tell you as such. But make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon.
No, she got the good vibes when seasons change, but when